All right, guys, let's check this out. You know, being a maybe a legacy home builder. Hey guys, I'm back here again, and I'm just really I'm trying to try out my I had an update for my Mac computer, and now I wanted to check because my OBS software that I used to live stream was just not quite working pretty good. So, guys, I'm doing this right here to kind of get this back on track, and I think I got it back on track. But I want to talk about something today. Being a legacy home builder. When I say legacy home builder, I mean a second or third generation home builder. And I'm gonna tell you guys, that's probably the best way to be. Me myself, I'm not a legacy home builder. I didn't have a father who was in the game, that was building, that made a lot of the mistakes, and then he passed it on to me, and I kind of took over. And of course, you're going to make some mistakes as a young builder, but I don't have to make the mistakes that'll take you out of business. And that's kind of what happened to me because, me growing up, I've been taught that, the real estate game was, real estate property value, um, it always increased in value, and it always appreciates. But we learned in 2007 that that just wasn't the case, and things got really, really bad. I actually had to get out of the game, but you know, when I had to get out of the game in 2007, 2000, it might have been 2009. But even when I got out of the game, I actually went and became a building official, which me becoming a building official actually helped me learn more about building than I've ever learned before. And that kind of bridged the gap between me being a legacy builder, of being a second generation builder. What I learned as a building official, and I think during the time it was the city of Alabaster. They hired me as the building official, and they wanted someone who had a connection with the Home Builders Association, and so I was the one. Things were the way things were. I ended up becoming the building official for the city of Alabaster, and I really, that mayor who hired me, man, that's the best thing. I really appreciate what she done. She made me, because what I learned, guys, I ran the building department, and since Alabaster at the time was small, you know, I had to run the building department, along with building the building official. I also had to ran the, I was the person that ran the planning commission, and I ran the board of zoning adjustments, as well as I did the abatement. So, and the building official, guys, you don't know, just in case some of you guys don't know what a building official, he's not an inspector. A lot of people think that the building official is an inspector. No, he is the person that's responsible for making sure that the inspections, that everything is being inspected to make sure everything is safe as far as structures that are built in the municipality. And guys, that kind of helped me. That catapulted me into the next dimension of, there were things that I've learned there that it would have took another generation for me to learn. I have a son that's 22, and he's working on trying to get his home builder's license, and I mean, he's a little young, and that's cool. But being out in this game, you got to really have a, in a lot of cases, I think you need a mental edge when you're dealing with subcontractors, because you can't, just dealing with subcontractors, suppliers, and just the whole gamut of the people that you're going to be dealing with in the construction world. But my son, he's working on it. We're working together. He has other interests that he like. I don't try to force this down his throat. The way I see it is that, if I got a son, whatever he's good at. I got one that plays sports too, but whatever they're good at. My job is to figure out how I can go get resources to feed what they're good at. I don't get into the black and white thing, guys. I know a lot of people say, this we have this black and white. I tell my kids, don't ever box themselves into color, race, and all these different things that we box ourselves into, man. And it's not about that, guys. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter the color. It doesn't matter the gender, none of those things matters to me, especially if it's something that I love to do. But being a legacy builder, guys, that's where you want things to be. That's probably the next. I've noticed that most of the builders who have went to the next level, they did two things. Well, I'm gonna just say three things. Three things that I think that can really, really help you get to the next level. Um, um, Very, very quickly. One is being a legacy builder. As if your dad built, because guys, in this building industry, man, I mean, if you're out here building a house, if I'm building a residential home, especially when I'm doing a custom house, one mistake that you can make can put you out of business. If you miscalculated one thing, your profit is gone. I mean, these are big ticket items, for $10,000. This is not something that you can just kind of save up a little money and pay monthly and stuff like that and still be okay. No, these are big ticket items. You can't make big mistakes like that. So that's what the fathers can be there for, to kind of see and kind of guide you to make sure you don't make big enough. You're gonna make mistakes, but you don't make big enough mistakes that will put you out of business. But legacy builder is one of the best things. I think that if you have a background in finance or mathematics, I think that can really, really help. I mean, if you're very logical, but if you have a background like bankers and stuff like that, guys who have been in investments and stuff like that, been in the banking industry, and then those guys went out and became builders, that could really make a difference. I think if you had that and you wasn't a legacy builder, you could still really, really do well in this game. The next thing I think that you could do, so you got being a legacy builder, and you also have a background in the finance sector. But guys, there's if you're part of the Home Builders Association, they have what they call the Builders 20 group. I think most of the guys I've seen who went to the next level in building, they all were part of the Builders 20 group at some point in time. And and if you guys don't know what the Builders 20 group is, it's like a group that gets together, I think maybe twice a year or something like that, but you go and you engage with people who are not in your market. So it may be someone in Texas, like if it's me coming from Alabama, it may be somebody in Texas, but we're not competing against each other. So we put our finances and stuff out on the table, and it gets scrutinized through everybody. And we look at the national trend at what everybody's doing. So if I come back home to Alabama, where Alabama's a little slower than, say, for instance, Nashville, I got a Builder 20 buddy that's in Nashville area, and we're a little slower, he can tell me, what they're doing there, and I can possibly do it here, and that would help me grow that would help me kind of be ahead of the people here. Because what's happening in Nashville is probably going to eventually get to Birmingham, Alabama. It's just a matter of time. So it's kind of like you're looking into the future. So that helps, guys. So those three things can really help. Now, what would really help, and I've seen some of the guys that do really, really well here, especially in the Birmingham area, are some of the guys who are part of all of it. I know a builder here in town. He's a legacy builder. But actually, here's the thing. They joined together, and I think one of them was the legacy builder. The other one was a second-generation builder. And then one of them had a degree in finance, and they dealt in finance and stuff. So you had all three of those aspects. And then they were part of the Builders 20 group. So you had all three of those things all in one, which was a really good thing, guys. It really, that could actually take you to the next level. So legacy builders is always good, guys. Now I can say that there are not a lot of, I can almost probably count, especially in the African American community, and I kind of talk about that a lot, guys, because, I really want to, there's not a lot of involvement in our community as far as home builders, and so. We have to figure out ways to become legacy builders, guys. Um, we got to figure that out, man. And guys, it's just not building, guys. I just tell you, man, it's in anything that you do. I think that it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm starting to see that sports is becoming legacies now. You know, you look at these pro athletes. Um, you know, typically, if they have a son, they train their son to kind of take over. And, you know, you look at LeBron James and, you know, Steph Curry was a legacy athlete. You know, it's almost like things are becoming, like any industry now, is almost becoming nepotism, you know, as far as that's concerned. But that's just kind of some of my thoughts, guys. We got to really focus on, you know, legacy builders is where it's at. You know, fathers, go out here. If you can, go out here and get a trade. Learn that trade, master it, teach it to your son. You know, get your son into the game, and grow the game. You know, and here's the thing, guys. When I started this game 20 plus years ago, I may not be able to see the true fruits of my labor and what I've been doing. But, you know, if I had a legacy builder, you'd probably see it. Let me know what you think, guys. Once again, guys, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Hit the like button. I don't know if there's a dislike button on the thing anymore, but hit something. Let me know what you think about these videos. I'm trying to get a little bit more. I'm in the middle of building more houses, so once I get started again, I can't do YouTube like I'm doing it right now because I'll be kind of running. But guys, let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for joining.